Hi everyone, it's Chase Chappell, and we are in week 2, module 1, which is chaos versus clarity. We will be going over some very important information today that is essential for getting clear on this path we are taking to get successful and consistent Facebook ad results. And we're going to be getting clear on where we are at in this process and what steps we must take for starting with purity, so that way nothing contaminates our process. Now here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to start off with understanding the 4-phase system, and then we're going to cover the motions we must go through to complete phase 1. Then we are going to cover the Facebook ad pixel conversion tracking and the proper way this should be set up. And then we're going to define the main campaign objective and cover chaos versus clarity. This is where all the information that we need later on is drawn from. It's extremely important that you complete the action items today. You put in a lot of effort into these things, and that you upload them and store them in the action items section within week 2, because we're going to need these later on. Now we're going to cover the 4-phase system. If we look at the 4-phase system from a high-level view, we know that phase 1 is data intake, phase 2 is testing, phase 3 is optimization, and phase 4 is scaling. And then we have to go through each of these phases before we move to the next. Otherwise, you can throw off the entire system and damage your results. Now, to get a better understanding of this 4-phase system in greater detail, I've split the 4 phases into 4 separate columns, each highlighting some of the different topics, methods, and processes involved in each individual phase. We will be covering each of these topics in full. We will understand the relation between each of these phases, topics, methods, and processes. And now I can't stress enough how important and imperative it is to make sure we stay in order and don't skip or make irrational decisions. This 4-phase process has worked for all of our clients and has worked for just about every single one of our students. And for those few students it didn't work for, is from them not following the phases in order and for not trusting the process. So if you decide to get jumpy and skip around the process, I will not sympathize with you when your results do not come. We play to win, we don't play to lose. We're dealing with real money here, so make sure to take every piece of information seriously, because moving forward, the opportunities for making it rain results is going to become easier and easier. Now we are going to walk through each individual phase, highlighting a few points in each. So phase 1 is for taking in as much data as possible. This includes getting your Facebook pixel tracking set up so it can send us the data we need. You also will be gathering content for your future audiences and ads, and then I'll even show you how to match a visitor on your website to an exact person on Facebook, giving you an edge on your data and insights. This will put you far ahead of the game compared to other people running ads in the same space as you. So once again, phase 1 is about getting as much data as possible so we can have a successful starting point for moving into phase 2. Now phase 2. You will be creating as many ad variations and audience variations that your fingers can type. We want to get it all out there, and here's why. Because we want to play to the strength of the Facebook algorithm. The more we can give the control over to the Facebook algorithm, the more we will be setting ourselves up for low cost per results, and we will be lowering the amount of risk a potential algorithm change could have on you substantially. In fact, we'll be lowering your risk so much that when the algorithm does change your results are only going to get better. Then I'm going to show you how to quite literally duplicate your ad engagements without even having to choose an engagement campaign. This engagement duplication is going to increase your conversion rates faster than you would ever believe. So to summarize phase 2, it is all about testing everything that we have gathered from phase 1. That includes testing different copy, headlines, images, videos, lookalikes, custom audiences, and so on. Then we have phase 3. And in phase 3, we will be removing all the beautiful ads and audiences you created from phase 2 that have shown to be low performing. And we will only be giving our attention and focus to those 1 to 3 high performing ads and audiences that we're left with. Then we will be optimizing the 1 to 3 audiences and ads, making subtle tweaks to improve performance and get the results more consistent. Then once we set the path for consistency, we can then go into the next phase, which is phase 4. Where you can start scaling your results, and this is just what phase 4 is about. So in phase 4, we will be increasing your daily amount spent, because we will know your exact cost per result. And we will be applying rules that automatically scale the ads for you and automatically run your audiences and campaigns for you. That way you can get everything to be a full-blown system that generates you a consistent ROI every single month on demand when you want it to. So this is where we are right now. We are in phase 1. So now it is time to get started on phase 1. Phase 1 is data intake. So now you need to gather data, and your data is everything from the content you will be using in your ads to the tracking you will be gathering insights about your audience. So the first thing is gathering the content, all the content. Images, videos, landing page links, headlines, and call to actions that you will be using to create your ads. You're going to organize it all into folders on either Google Drive or Dropbox so we can have quick access to it when we start building out the ads. Now it's important to get all of these images and videos and landing page links because we want to be able to test every possible combination for when we get into phase 2, where we are building out our ads. This is going to allow us to identify the best outcomes and the worst outcomes. So don't leave any content out because we want to have all the content so we can test it all. Remember, this is the process, so don't let your mind take control. The last thing we want is for your mind to say, well, I like this image and I don't like this image, and because I don't like this image, I'm not going to include it in my image folder for when we create ads because I don't like that image and don't want it to be used in any of my ads. So if you think like that during this process of gathering all the content, then you'll be setting yourself up for failure because your audience could actually love that image that you actually hate. And if you were to leave that image out, you would have ended up missing out on the potential ability of getting the best results you ever had. And even if you're 100% sure that image wouldn't have gotten results, it doesn't matter. Just put it in the folder anyways because we're going to test it again. I can't tell you how many times people have thought they knew an image or headline or call to action would not work, and then they used it in this process and it actually worked. And they were in complete disbelief that they were wrong. So don't be that person who thinks they know what works and doesn't work. We only want the results to tell us if it works. Nobody else, not even yourself. That is the rule. So now let's look at an example of how you can organize all of the content you will be gathering. This is an example in Google Drive of how I would recommend organizing all of your content that you are gathering. Once again, feel free to use Dropbox. I just use Google Drive because I found Drive to be the easiest out of the two. So once you're in, I would make a folder for each category, like images, videos, and then also a folder for screenshots of the ads you might have ran in the past, and then make a Google Sheet of all the links to various landing pages you have, website pages, and funnels that you might have set up. So that way we can test them. Because we will need all of this for when we build out our ad variations, and we want to have all of this in one place. We don't want to have to go searching for everything later on because we want it all in one place. Makes it much easier that way. Then once you have all of your content gathered, we need to set up and confirm that your Facebook pixel has the pixel conversion tracking to at least include page views and leads or page views and purchases. The best way to confirm you have these is by downloading the Facebook Pixel Helper. It is a Google Chrome tool add-on, and the link to the tool is in the resource section below this video. And if you need to set up your pixel, you can watch the video on how to do that below using the resource section as well. Now we're going to define the optimal campaign objective and understand chaos versus clarity. When you create a campaign in Facebook ads, you'll be asked to choose your campaign objective. And there are really two ways. And there's the old way, which is complete chaos. Then there's the new way, which is complete clarity. So the old way, what I call chaos, is selecting any campaign objective, such as link clicks, traffic, video views, engagements, messages, or reach. And if you're wanting leads and purchases, then this is just a surefire way to get no results. Why would you choose a campaign objective that has nothing to do with getting results for your bottom line? If we want purchases and leads, then we don't want to select reach, traffic, or video views as a campaign objective. These methods are not good at all And anyone who told you otherwise is either lying to you or they just don't know how to get amazing results. Then we have the new way, which is what I call clarity. It's selecting the campaign objective conversions, because if your ultimate goal is to get leads or purchases, then you should only optimize for leads or purchase conversions. You do that by using a conversions objective and then choosing either leads or purchases as your conversion target objective. So that way Facebook algorithm can then optimize for those results only. Anything else is a complete distraction and a waste of money. And I'm going to show you a few examples of why the old way is complete chaos and why the new way removes all unnecessary items and gives us a laser-like focus on qualified results. Here's an example of an old way. Some people select traffic campaigns as their campaign objective to get link clicks. The problem with this is that the algorithm then optimizes only for link clicks, meaning the algorithm does not care at all how qualified that person is that clicks on your ad, or how long they visited once they ended up on your site, or what they even did after they got on your site. The algorithm only tries to get link clicks since that's what you made the campaign objective. So with traffic campaigns, you're going to get a lot of irrelevant traffic and you're going to pay a low cost per link click, but you're going to pay a very high cost per result. Because like 95% of those people don't do anything on your site. And if they do, it may be adding something like add to cart, and that doesn't even guarantee you a purchase. So traffic campaigns have an outcome of low cost per click and high cost per result. Now you should recall from week 1, module 2, that we never listed cost per click as a metric to track. Therefore, it should not matter how low or high your cost per click is. We actually don't care about that metric. Cost per result is the only metric we care about in this instance because that affects our bottom line in getting a return. Here's another example, video views. Now, I've heard a lot of people tell me that other people have told them that they should use video views and set up a retargeting campaign to capture people who watched a specific amount of their video ad. And that is just horrible advice, as you're spending double the money and getting less results. And the algorithm is optimizing 50% towards getting video views and the other 50% to try and get those video viewers to take an action on your site. The outcome of this is low cost per video view, high cost per click, and high cost per result. It's not a good outcome. And here's another one with the campaign objective reach. And it actually does not get much worse than this. The algorithm is only optimizing to reach someone with the placement on the feed or story or whichever placement is selected, which means you have people looking at your ad and not even interacting with it. The algorithm is not optimizing to get interactions or anything other than people just to scroll past it. And once they scroll past your ad, Facebook then charges you for that. That is just a huge waste of money, and people are paying an extremely high amount for every cost per result when they use this as their campaign objective. The outcome, low cost per reach, medium cost per video view, high cost per click, and extremely high cost per result. Then we have the new way, which is complete clarity. Your campaign objective is conversions, and your conversion objective is purchases. The Facebook algorithm then optimizes for purchases, finding more qualified individuals and creating an audience of qualified individuals for you. This saves you a ton of time and money. The outcome, low cost per purchase. Here's another example. Very similar. They're actually the same, except the only difference is the conversion objective is leads, and the outcome is low cost per lead. Now, there is another option that also is outstanding, and that is lead generation campaign objective, but not everyone has access to this yet, so we will be covering lead generation campaigns in a separate video lesson later on. So let's do a quick recap of everything that we have covered on this video lesson today. We got clear on understanding the 4-phase system, and then we covered the motions we must go through to complete phase 1. So make sure you watch the video of setting up your Facebook ad pixel, as well as the video for getting your pixel helper. Then we covered the Facebook ad pixel conversion tracking and the proper way this should be set up. And then defined the main campaign objective and covered the old way of doing things, which is chaos, and the new way of doing things, which is what I call clarity. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.